Nicole and Ellie. A black cat is typically associated with ill luck in mythology. It's less obvious, though, what happens to a person who encounters a highly unusual black cat. Our imperfections might sometimes be what make us special and attractive. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Ellie and her sister were found at a nearby farm when they were just 4 months old by Nicole, a German resident. They need medical attention since they had infections and mites in their ears, along with other horrible health issues. Nicole made the decision to bring them home and tend to their medical needs. The coats of the two cats were speckled with black and white. Nicole saw specks of white hair where Ellie's fur had originally been completely black, just after Ellie turned 1 year old. White spots were showing up day after day as time passed. Nicole brought Ellie to the vet so the marks on her fur could be examined. It was then that she learned Ellie had vitiligo, an uncommon illness. Patches of skin or hair may lose pigment as a result of this illness. Ellie changed her fur every day in front of her owner, not caring at all and growing more and more gorgeous. It is just what Ellie did. Nothing unique about her tuxedo coat, just like her sister's. Nicole was shocked to find that Ellie's coat was gradually turning white in the weeks and months that followed, especially the black areas. Ellie's look seems to be shifting constantly. Why do you suppose this was taking place? It turns out that Ellie has vitiligo, an uncommon disorder that results in white areas of skin and hair due to a lack of pigmentation. Ellie was otherwise quite healthy, however, it is occasionally associated with other health problems. What was only a few white spots on Ellie's body quickly grew into something really lovely. Ellie's look seems to be shifting constantly. Ellie had changed dramatically physically, but her gentle personality stayed the same. She is as charming and lively as the day Nicole brought her home. Ellie gets the same treatment from her sibling whose coat hasn't altered at all. The fact that Ellie is well and content is, of course, what really counts. She is much more endearing because of her unique appearance, which hasn't diminished yet. Although Ellie's fur is still becoming white, Nicole believes that certain black markings, like the ones on her face, will linger. But looking back, it's evident that she has already made significant progress. It has made living with her all the more joyful, and Nicole is thrilled to watch her rescued cat's gorgeous makeover. Ivory Canadian nursing student Gabriella Carvalho went to a cat shelter in Calgary, Alberta. Shortly after Luna, her 5-year-old emotional therapy cat, passed away from feline illness, she disappeared. In order to return some cat food that she had bought before Luna became ill, Gabby went to the shelter. Maybe some cat therapy would be very beneficial to Gabby's heart, she reasoned. She saw Ivory, a stunning tiny white cat with heart-shaped eyes, looking at her as she walked by the glass containing all the kittens. Thus, she inquired as to whether she might spot a cat in the meet and greet space. Life sometimes provides us with what we need, even if the visit was intended to be therapeutic and she had no plans to bring one home with her. Ivory emerged, approached her, and promptly settled into Gabby's lap, emitting a loud purr akin to that of a pigeon. Even though Ivory had a distinct purr, beautiful eyes, and a funny curled tongue that immediately won Gabby over, it was the fact that Ivory wasn't a Canadian cat that convinced her without a shadow of a doubt that she should bring her home. Ivory is from the same Jordanian town where Gabby lived for 6 months before. Ivory was a little white cat with short hair who was 10 years old when Gabby fell in love with her and decided to adopt her. Gabby noticed something quite odd about Ivory not long after she moved into her house. On certain days, Ivory's eyes are a vibrant orange and yellow, while on others they are a neon green and yellow. Gabby noticed that Ivory's eyes, which are often more frequent in people, had a tendency to change color based on the weather. It took Gabby a long time to figure out that young Ivory had heterochromia, a disorder that causes her eyes to shift color. Since hardly every cat had this talent, Gabby's affection for her increased as a result of this new feature, rather than decreasing. People usually stop to gaze in awe at Ivory's stunning eyes when she goes out with Gabby. Ivory's dental condition has left her with few remaining teeth. She primarily consumes wet food that has been combined with bone broth to make it more liquid due to her shorter lower jaw. She follows a particular wet food regimen that resembles a raw food diet quite a bit. Even at her age, Ivory is a lively cat. She enjoys chirping when she watches birds and chases squirrels. She consumes food and likes quail eggs and treats even though she hardly has any teeth. Ivory has brilliant neon green and yellow eyes on some days, and because of her heterochromia, on other days the color shifts to bright yellow and orange. Cats with this syndrome may develop bichromatic eyes, with one eye often being blue and the other green, brown, or yellow. Both people and dogs may be affected by the illness. Because the iris lacks the pigment known as melanin, a kitten's eyes typically look blue at birth. The pigment is dispersed as the cat grows, changing the color of its eyes. While some cats' eyes continue to remain blue due to a lack of melanin development, the eyes of others get darker, with copper being the darkest hue. When a cat has heterochromia, on the other hand, just one iris has pigment spread throughout, making the other iris blue as it grows darker. Although the actual explanation of this odd phenomena is unknown, it seems to be a developmental disorder that may have a hereditary component. Although white cats with one or more blue eyes are more likely to be deaf, the ailment has no effect on the cat's vision and doesn't appear to influence their hearing. Complete heterochromia refers to the state where the eyes are entirely different hues. Sectoral heterochromia, on the other hand, refers to the condition where a single iris comprises two or more colors. For example, half of which are green and half of which are blue. Bruce and Ktten. Cats are such amazing creatures. With just one little mew, they can bring even the most hardened individuals to their knees. Even on stormy days, they have the ability to quickly brighten any day and give the impression that the sun is beaming, but surely they can't alter their color. A small, drenched critter was crawling along the road in Auckland, New Zealand in 2015 when Ktten Van Beek saw it during a violent downpour. At first, Ktten believed the animal to be a tiny, moist mouse, so little, in fact, that she nearly missed it. As Ktten hurried over, she saw that, sure enough, the animal was a newborn kitten that appeared to be just a few hours old. The kitten was nearly dead and trying to crawl across the walkway, but his mom was nowhere to be seen. The kitten was so little that a thin layer still covered its eyes. The wet kitten was immediately taken home by Ktten, who could not bear to leave it alone. She originally believed that he had a high chance of surviving. But throughout the course of the following several days, his illness worsened. He weighed barely more than 100 grams. Despite the fact that the small ball of fur had a lot of odds against him, Ktten was resolved to do everything in her power to support him in his battle for survival. In order to ensure that her little buddy received the essential nutrients, she began giving him formula around the clock and made sure he always had a qualified babysitter on hand to watch after him. The little kitten purred for the first time on the 13th day, which was a very joyous day for Ktten. When the kitten opened its little eyes for the first time, she was a proud mother and named him after Bruce Wayne, or Batman, who had to leave his parents when he was a young boy. Bruce's fur began to turn blue after 6 weeks of non-stop feedings and several medical visits, marking the end of his hairy gray phase. His eyes went from blue to green as well. What caused this to occur? His chameleon-like coat shift was thought to be the result of a fever coat, a condition that occurs during pregnancy when the mother cat is ill or under stress. It produces a patch of gray, cream, or red fur, but it gradually goes away. Bruce's coat was a jet black color by the time he was 3 months old. He began to dance all over the place like a child high on candy. After Ktten posted Bruce's tale online, updates on his several trips to the emergency veterinarian and his battle to survive at such an early age without his mother attracted a sizable and devoted following. He has over 23,000 followers on his regularly updated Facebook page. Shortly after, he started a blog that was ranked as the 89th best cat blog of 2016. His followers are spread over the globe, with the most of them being middle-aged ladies who reside in the US, Germany, the UK, Mexico, Spain, Thailand, India, Japan, and Israel. Fans who are devoted to Bruce may purchase apparel and other items with his likeness. He enjoys playing battles with his older sister Jaeger and exploring the outdoors with his mother. At first, Jaeger wasn't pleased to have a new cat in her domain, but they quickly became the closest of friends. Bruce saw Jaeger as a kind of mentor who taught him everything a cat could possibly need to know. Bruce quickly developed into a lively and active cat. The same fighting spirit that had kept him alive as a newborn persisted in him. Bruce is a big help in the garden and enjoys dressing up as Santa whenever possible. Bruce grew up, became joyful, and gained good health after overcoming his upbringing. Catherine was even motivated to write a children's book on Bruce. Even if Bruce occasionally follows his own path, he always finds time to express his gratitude to his mother, and Catherine likewise makes care to do so. Catherine is incredibly proud of all that he has accomplished. They were fortunate to have met. Have you heard of a cat that had color changes? What caused that to happen? Tell us in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you seeing. I'll see you later. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.